I love pondering questions about physical media and the necessity of it all. And of course that brings to today's question. I guess, how do I phrase it? Format wars relevant still? Yes. Apparently they are. I'm on a Facebook group. It's 4K UHD collectors. It's really annoying. I like the occasional thing where people show, oh look, I got some stuff, but it's less look at what I got and more of, I hate this movie sucks, because apparently it's a movie review website. And then the occasional, gee, I hate the 4K quality of this, I prefer VHS. Yet they're not being ironic. That there is a sliver of people that I've seen, that I've read their posts about, both on Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, whatever, where on the occasion they'll mention how they prefer the quality of a film in an older format. Sometimes this can be, oh, I prefer the DVD release of this film, and it's usually because they prefer the color grading or something. Like, there's usually a really basic element as to, or a really specific thing that they like about the DVD over the 4K. What's a good one? I don't know. Let's take The Godfather, for example. Say, like, the 4K is, like, the best restoration. It looks fantastic, overseen by the cinematographer and the director. It's been color corrected, it's been adjusted, it looks fantastic. And then someone randomly says, I actually prefer the VHS. Haha, look at me on my one hill. Anyway, I don't mind if people are that, objective about their stuff. Like, oh yeah, no, if I'm going to collect anything, it's going to be VHS or Laserdisc, which is fine. If you prefer a particular format, you prefer a particular format. I like Blu-rays and 4Ks. I know it's the same format because it's still under the title of Blu-ray. Even the copyright is still Blu-ray, but they're arguably different formats just because it's higher quality. Because 4K is 4K. It's not actually 4K, as you would probably know. Like how Blu-ray is 1080p, 4K is like, what is it, 244? 0p or something, It's never actually a true 4K, which is fine. My own experiences kind of differ, because I did grow up with VHS, I know I was born in 98, but I still grew up with VHS. We didn't get Blu-rays until, like, maybe 2011, 2012 period. I think we got it with the Wii, because, like, we got a home theater system that came with a Blu-ray player in the Wii, and that was in, like, the early 2010s, when the Wii, I'm pretty sure the Wii was having this big craze then, or at least an affordable craze by that stage. So, yeah, that's what got us into Blu-rays, and a lot of the Blu-rays at the time were always DVD Blu-ray collector sets, they're always mixing formats. That's why the Hunger Games, for the first film, the Blu-ray set, is still just... Actually, it only has one DVD, and it's not even a DVD, it's a digital copy. Let me show you. So it's this one. It's obviously bigger than a standard Blu-ray, but it comes with 3 Blu-rays and the digital copy, but that digital copy is basically just a DVD version. It's very strange. But still, that's not really a good example. That's just weird packaging design. But, one of my favorite films is Alien. And Alien... I would only argue I prefer the DVD copy, which I don't have a DVD copy of it anymore. But I'm pretty sure I don't have a DVD copy anymore. I'm pretty sure that was like some of the good, like we donated that kind of stuff when we moved because I had the Blu-ray set by that stage. I have the 4K UHD, and there's a certain sequence near the end of the film where the place is going into self-destruct, and there's a lot of flashing strobe lights. I do not recall ever seeing those strobe lights before, like especially to the effect that it has in the 4K scan on the 4K Blu-ray, and now I've got a 65-inch OLED TV, and it's really noticeable, especially because it's OLED, it's specific one of its lighting and colors and everything. But I think I was always more afraid of the film when I watched it on DVD. And I know that, like, that's not even the oldest format I could argue for the film. I never watched it in VHS, I'm sorry. I don't really have much of an argument in this case for VHS. Like, if I look at my shelf, VHS up there we have the original Star Wars trilogy in their most original formats for widescreen. I'm pretty sure Star Wars is still called Star Wars in that one. There's that. I'm pretty sure that was, like, pre any special edition, like, any remasters and whatever. Got Gone with the Wind, which has now got that incredible Blu-ray set, which I've just done an unboxing video of. Really nice set, really nice remaster. And that's just a thing because my mum loves the film, so she has the double cassette tape set, and now she has this cool Blu-ray set. Got H.R. Puffin stuff, because we were children once. We got a Simpsons one, Creature from Black Lagoon. That was one I collected like a year ago, just for the factor of, I kind of want to collect this film on VHS, and we still have the VHS DVD player, and I have a little HDMI converter, so I can watch it, you know, on the TV if I want to, even though I have the 4K UHD now. Got some King Kong and some Buster Keaton as well. None of it there is really, like, none of those films or shows would be anything that I'd be like, I would prefer to watch that over the best version I have imaginable. Like, if I compared Creature from Black Lagoon, I don't think I'd want to watch it on VHS. The only time I've watched the Star Wars VHS in recent memory was 5 or 6 years ago. It's weird. I always remember it was like there was a blackout, but there wasn't actually a blackout. It was just that I think the internet was down for like a week or something, so like we couldn't stream or whatever. And I don't think we had. Oh, we did have the Blu-ray set of the films. I don't know, just something about the week. It was like kind of school holiday week, I think. I don't even know. It was the end of the year. I remember that. Like Christmas holidays. So yeah, we just decided to watch the VHS trilogy. I don't really, again, I don't know why. We just kind of did it. Maybe we just felt nostalgic. I think I just found them because we had them in a cabinet. And I remember I had kept the first one. Oh, had I? I kept one of them. Maybe it was the third one. I don't remember. I had kept one of them because we had thrown out a bunch of VHS. I know that we had put it in a cabinet outside. It was still in a cabinet, so it's still in good condition. It's not like it fucking degraded or anything. But like, I remember I had kept one of the films, and then I think it must have been the first one that I decided to keep, and when we realized that the other two were in that cabinet still, I'm like, I'm going to keep them. I'm not going to throw them out. Like, because I was like, oh, we can throw them out. We don't need them. We have the DVDs and the Blu-rays now. But then, of course, learning about all the different additions to the films and stuff. But, I mean, they were still fun to watch on VHS. I've got, like, the Project 44, Project 77, 4K 77 and stuff like that. I've got those. So, I don't really need the VHS anymore. But, you know, it's just a nice novelty. In terms of, like, the effect, say, like, you can watch, I don't mind watching, like, say, rom-coms or just films about people talking, and it's just on DVD, because, you know, do you really need a lot of visual audio quality for that? Like, it wouldn't hurt, you know, like, my dad bought a whole box set of Elvis films. They look fine. Some of them have been remastered, but then you've got the occasional one where it's like clearly a widescreen film and they've actually made it a 4:3 on the disc. Like, they haven't cut the image, they've just squeezed it all down. And there's reasons like that I prefer to upgrade my media, because usually, like, you get, again, different transfers, you get uncut versions, and you get proper resolution, you know. So there's obviously the perks, but, you know, is there some fun? Or is there some, I don't know, etiquette and having the film in VHS or on DVD, or, of course, Laserdisc, the one I'm not going to mention very much of because I've never used one before. I know what it is, I know how it's used, it's terrifying. I'm not going to do that to myself. I mean, if I ever get, like, a player that can play one, sure, why not? But it's just like collecting vinyl. For me, not really worthwhile, because I don't have anything that can play it. So, yeah, it's just kind of fun. I think with Alien, there was, like, less quality to the picture, so it was kind of more terrifying. And of course, I was watching this as a kid as well, so it was a lot more terrifying through that. But I'm pretty sure I'd even rewatched it on DVD when I was in my teens, before I got the Blu-ray set. and even then it was still quite terrifying. But again, it was like, was it terrifying because I'm scared of the xenomorph, because I'm scared of the film in general, or is it terrifying because it's a less quality image, you know? And is it less terrifying now because it's a better quality image and I'm so used, or is it because I'm so used to the film? You know, I've watched the film several times, including like 3 times now on 4K. And one of those was with director commentary. But, like, is there any necessity in that? Does it make it less scary? And to a degree, I think it's just a factor of, I know when the xenomorph's gonna show up, so I know when to be scared to some degree. Like, there's still great atmosphere in the film, but it's a film I'm so in love with, and I usually can just sit there and admire the production design and stuff, which is my main reason why I'd be, like, emphasizing 4K as a quality thing, you know, in contrast to DVD or to VHS. You usually just get better picture quality, and it doesn't, for me, it's less about the color grading, it's less about the dirt and scratches being gone, it's it's just appreciation for set and costume design. Like, there's the amount of times where when I first started reading film quality reviews for films, as in like, oh, is the picture quality good? Like, oh, the 4K is a great upgrade because you can see like all the little seams in their costumes and how intimately detailed it is. Like, especially with Gone with the Wind, like that was one where the VHS was okay quality, and my dad had said, because he's very much still a stickler for DVDs, despite the fact that him and I will still buy Blu-rays and 4Ks, but he will still make note about there are plenty of DVDs that he has that are really well remastered that you don't really need a 4K. His main gripe is actually grain, so I usually tend to ignore his opinions. Like, I got Lawrence of Arabia on 4K, I got Gone with the Wind, which I believe is a 4K scan from like an 8K source or whatever, because again, it's an original film source. And he's even said before that Gone with the Wind on DVD looks so good, he didn't consider getting the upgrade for the Blu-ray. I know that there's no, 4K upgrade for Gone with the Wind yet, but it is still a 4K scan, and as Technicolor, it's going to look rich as hell. And I mean, on 4K, especially with HDR and probably Dolby Vision, it would look extraordinary. But as it goes, the quality of the Blu-ray was superb. Even Mum, who doesn't watch Blu-rays that often because she doesn't care for them as a format, she still calls them DVDs, when she had watched it, like, both of them were saying how improved the picture quality looked. It just looked incredible as a picture quality compared to the DVD that they've been watching for, 10, 15 years now. So probably 20 years even. I don't even know when the hell that DVD came out. I'm looking over there because that's where the DVD is, but I actually can't see it on the shelf. It's somewhere there. Oh, it's right there, actually. Let me check. It's this really nicely done set, which is, I believe, has like the exact same documentaries and stuff that the Blu-ray set does, because they basically did this really nice standard definition documentary, which you get with a lot of DVD sets, like the Alien, I think it was the anthology set, came with the, all the documentary stuff. If you get the special edition Blu-ray anthology set, it comes with like 2 extra discs worth of documentaries, and it's insane. But they're all still standard definition. They're still like presented on a HD disc, but they're filmed in like the late 90s usually. But this in particular was actually released in 2004. So this DVD set is almost 20 years old. So they've basically had this DVD for 20 years, and the upgrade is the, in this case, the 70th anniversary Blu-ray set, which I believe might have been the first time they released it on Blu-ray for the 70th anniversary. That's why I know that we've passed the 75th anniversary, but I'm expecting for the 80th that they might do a 4K. Why not? But at the same time, it's 1939, so I think we've passed this. Oh, haven't we? Yeah, I think we've passed the 80th now, haven't we? Because that was wouldn't that have been 2019? I don't know. I'm not going to do math. Who cares? Well, yeah, it would have been, because otherwise it would have been... Yeah, so it would have been 2019. Okay, so... And they didn't do one for 2019, so... I guess we'll see. Could be like a 85th anniversary kind of deal. Who gives a shit? You got everything on the one Blu-ray set. You don't really need the 4K. So that's another argument. Oh, do I need the 4K versus do I need the Blu-ray? If the Blu-ray is a really fucking good quality, you don't usually need the 4K. It depends on the film. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about, do you need the VHS? You don't need VHS, you don't need DVD, despite DVD still being the most popular, way to buy a film. Just because it's the cheaper way, I don't mind getting DVDs on the occasion, but for the most part I do my best to avoid it. I like getting Blu-rays, I like getting 4Ks. If I don't need the 4K, I will just go with a Blu-ray, but if I know I'm going to regret not getting the 4K, it might just be a 4K scan on a Blu-ray disc kind of deal. That's a whole different, thing. But yeah, it depends on the definition, because at the same time, there could be a version of a film. Now, this is the main reason why I'd want to be able to get a DVD and or VHS. And I've already kind of touched on it. This being Star Wars and, in my personal preference, The Evil Dead. I have the Evil Dead Book of the Dead edition. I keep looking at my eyeball on it, because I have it on the shelf. It's the latex booklet version. And it comes with the original version of the movie, before it had any special edition versions. And I mean special edition, which they don't really consider, because I've done this as a video before, talked about how Sam Raimi has edited his film since its initial release, mostly for the second Blu-ray release, and not for the second, for the second DVD release and onwards. The initial DVD release had the initial version of the film. It might have been for the first ever Blu-ray release that they have changed the film, changed it the second time on Blu-ray, then changed it again for 4K. It's annoying. A lot of fans like myself, even Star Wars fans, prefer the original essence, At times there's a good combination effort, even A New Hope, has great elements that are from the special edition version, you get more ships, more of an armada, the explosions are a lot better, there's a lot of stuff like that. There's a lot of improved effects that just seem natural and seem like a worthwhile addition. Whereas, of course, do we need the Jabba scene? Stuff like that. With the Evil Dead films, I have the 4K. I don't actually have a standard edition 4K of the first film. I have the Evil Dead collection, Steelbook collection, which is just the first two films on 4K and Blu-ray. And they're I think it's the Anchor Bay Blu-ray, which I think I already had. I had a Blu-ray that came out, I don't know, in 2013-ish. I have the 4K disc only because I wanted that Steelbook, and because it's I do want the 4K, I don't really want to watch it anytime soon, or maybe ever, because I love Evil Dead 2 on 4K. I don't think I need to get The Evil Dead on 4K. But I have it anyway, and it's 2-pack Steelbook, and the artwork looks nice, so I don't really care. That was the perk. It was hey, it's a cool Steelbook, I'm going to keep it. I'm going to get it for that reason. But I do have a edition of the Blu-ray, which comes with, it's a limited edition Blu-ray, which comes with a DVD, plus it comes with, where is it? It's Sam Raimi. Where are you, Raimi? There you are. It's this version. There's not really much point in showing off too much. It's the Anchor Bay release, but it comes with the. It even stipulates all new audio commentary, because it's still the edited version of the film. If I'm going to watch the film, I'm going to get the DVD out of the Book of the Dead over there. However, this does have the bonus disc DVD, which you can get in the Evil Dead collection set that they have now. The set that doesn't have... I don't think it has Army of Darkness. No, it has Evil Dead, The Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2, and Ash vs. Evil Dead. It doesn't have the 2013 film, and it doesn't have Army of Darkness. But still, this does still have the limited edition bonus DVD, which has a ton of special features, which was the main reason I bought this, and I got it for really cheap too, because it's not a very easy Blu-ray to get. So, I have this on my shelf on display, despite the fact that I'll never watch this Blu-ray, and if I really, really want to watch it in the best quality, I'd watch it in the 4K, but if I want to watch the true essence of the original film, I'd watch the DVD, and that's the one perk I like about the DVD, is that it has that. Also, it's an old-fashioned, it's a low-budget film, and a low-budget horror film. I don't really need the highest quality representation of it. Do I need the 4K, which might have, Dolby Atmos or something? Probably not. Sure, that film has amazing sound design. Do I really need it in the highest quality? Probably. That's, the only stickler of the film. I would love a high-quality audio for that film with the low-quality DVD version. So, and I've watched the DVD version before, and it's I mean, it looks shit, but it's also not the best looking film in the world. And again, low budget, it kind of works with that. But, you know, something like Star Wars, it's like, that's not a low budget film. I don't want to watch the VHS just to watch the original version. Hence why I have the Project 4K77. So, yeah, but, I mean, look, in the end game, you do you as a consumer. If you want to have the hobby of, oh, I can buy this really cheap VHS or DVD or Laserdisc, you know, fucking HD DVD, whatever format that doesn't really exist anymore on the market. I mean, except for DVD, of course. Sure, go for it. If it's your personal preference, it's your personal preference, you know. But yeah, so look, it's up to you. I have no quarrels with people. Look, if you want to buy a different medium just to watch that medium, fucking go for it. Like, for a lot of people, it's like a nostalgic thing. It's, I grew up with VHS. I've always preferred VHS. It's got a different feel to it, like the whole Video Easy, you know, it's not Video Easy in the US, is it? Blockbuster in the US. We had Video Easy here. But that's why I never understood what Blockbuster was when they said that it's closed down, there's no more Blockbusters. Like, what are you talking about? What's a Blockbuster? I'm not an idiot. Google exists. But still, it's like, Video Easy disappeared as well, and no one fucking talks about them in Australia anymore. We all talk about who the hell goes to Red Rooster. So, yeah, I can understand that there's a gravitas towards it. There's elements that you personally, as a consumer, as someone who loves movies or TV shows, would prefer. You know, I might be fine with watching a sitcom on DVD, but like if I go to watch my friend's box set on DVD, I'll notice that it's A, not remastered, and B, it's all in 4:3. But then you look at the Blu-ray set or on Netflix, because it's currently in Australia on Netflix, it's in HD and it's in, you know, it's widescreen, baby. It's 16:9. And I'm like, wait a second, that's not right. But for conveniently, it's the kind of show that it doesn't matter. Like, there's a lot of shows that are like that where, yeah, it doesn't fucking matter. I was about to start talking about formats and stuff. It doesn't matter. There's a lot of shows that conveniently look good in widescreen, even when they're not filmed that way. It's fine. It happens, okay? Buy VHS. I don't fucking care. The benefit usually is that they're really cheap, but they're usually shitty. I used to use VHS a lot to record TV shows so I could watch another show at a different time. You know, at the same time. So, you know, that was my benefit. And I'm like, oh, I missed The Good Wife this week. I'm going to tape it on VHS. And then we got Foxtel, and we could tape fucking anything. And you know what? I loved it. So much easier. So, you know, I've had my time with VHS, and I've moved on to other things.